What's up, everybody? My name is Troy, and welcome back to PCBL Battle of the Week. This is episode number 2. We're covering week 2 today, and we have the matchup with ColdWeatherr, coach of the Mount Silver Sovalis, versus Zach, who is coach of the Burbank City Venomoths. This was the match that we selected to be Battle of the Week for week 2. If you missed week 1, you can check that. There's probably a link to that in the description. Starting with Zach's team, it's really interesting, everything is going on. He has both the Mega Venusaur and the Tyranitar, which is kind of interesting, meaning he can't really run Synthesis, given that he plans to have the Sand up most of the time. So, as you'll see, he ends up relying on Leech Seed. He has Umbreon and Tyranitar, 2 Dark types, makes his team significantly weak to the Mienshao. He does have Hazard removal in that Hitmontop, and Milotic's there to just be bulky, and Noivern's just there to be fast. There's obviously more to it than that, but we'll get into the actual battle. I don't want to say too much. On Cold's side, it's really interesting. He has the Torkoal to set up the Sun to replace Tyranitar's Sand, which is a very interesting choice in my opinion. He also has the Sawsbuck to go along with it. He has Crobat to be a fast U-turner, Mienshao to be a fast U-turner. The Silvally is very interesting. He brought Silvally Steel. He can bring one of 4 different types of Silvallis. That's how drafting it works in our league. And he chose to bring Silvally Steel this week. And yeah, Primarine is here, and spoiler alert, that thing is choice specs. So without further ado, I don't want to talk for too long. Let's just get right into the battle. And we see ColdWeatherr leads with Crobat, and we see double Bat lead. Now Crobat goes for the taunt, which is very interesting because this Noivern actually has choice specs and could have gone for Switcheroo, but he just goes straight for the Hurricane, does damage as ColdWeatherr goes for a U-turn to get out of here. We see him come into Silvally to eat this Hurricane, and I mean, Hurricane's a pretty spammable move for Zach, but it's very interesting considering, you know, the lowered accuracy potentially. We see, speaking of lowered accuracy, we see Thunder Wave miss there, recently got nerfed in Gen 7, and we see Silvally go for the parting shot, getting out of there. So we get Switch Initiative in on this Venusaur. That Sludge Bomb does nothing. That Sludge Bomb does nothing. Crobat is a perfect answer for this Mega Venusaur. Overall, I think keeping Crobat healthy is kind of important for ColdWeatherr, but we just see him U-turn out here instead of going for a move like Roost. And now Mienshao comes in to threaten this Umbreon immediately. This Umbreon has to get out of here. Zach makes the correct decision of going into Venusaur, eats that high jump kick. And from here it's kind of interesting. We do see that the Mienshao is Life Orb, but by switching out his U-turn, he has Regenerator and he's going to get that health back. Crobat comes in, just loses more health from this Leech Seed. I really did think that Crobat was going to be very important for Cold beating Venusaur, so I was really surprised that he was just kind of like bringing it in on all these Pokemon. Anyways, he goes for a U-turn there. We see Mienshao come back in. This is just kind of a bit of like a reoccurring theme here. And now we see Venusaur come back in, again, just like before, and we see a Fake Out here. I don't know how much I agree with Fake Out plus Life Orb. I guess it doesn't matter too much. He has to U-turn out here because, most likely, and I think Cold noticed this, that Venusaur was going to go for Sleep Powder. And that's exactly what we see here. I guess he picked Torkoal to sack to the Sleep Powder. So with Sleep Clause in effect, nothing else can be put to sleep. See Crobat come back in, and it just keeps getting seeded, and that Venusaur just keeps getting healthier. Next comes in Milotic, which is very interesting. This Milotic has very interesting tech on it that I'll give Zach credit for. It has Flame Orb, which is super cool. With Marvel Scale, you know, it doubles its defense, but it still has to switch out on the Sawsbuck, who double speed in the sun. And that double edge, even with the attack drop from the Intimidate, does insane damage. It's crazy. It's able to 2-hit KO, and Cold takes the early lead 5-0. Or 6-5, I'm sorry. Yeah, and now we have the Noivern coming in, obviously threatening it. The sun's gone, can't outspeed it anymore. So we see the Silvally come back in. Seems to be the dedicated switch in. And this was a smart play on Zach's part. He read the Thunder Wave, since that's what, you know, this thing tried to do in the past. So he goes into his already statused Milotic, becomes a great status sponge for him. And now this is a very interesting play, obviously just fishing for the Scald here. But this play right here is very interesting. Cold actually goes for the Psychic here. predicting that Mega Venusaur to come in. And the reason that's detrimental is because now he has to switch out because his Primarina is Choice Specs. So we see Crobat come back in, and this actually ends up being, I don't know if that was a prediction or just kind of worked out luckily, but Crobat absorbs that Toxic, is able to taunt the Milotic, and yes, he loses his Crobat, but now the Milotic can't heal itself or Toxic anything. So Cold can go back into his Primarina, this time I think going for the Moonblast, and I guess he predicted the Water move, Zach did, or maybe an Energy Ball, but he switches an Umbreon and that thing is gone. So now it's 5-4, Cold still with the lead. Obviously he has to switch out of that Mega Venusaur, and in comes the Torkoal, sets up the Sun again. Kind of interesting. I don't know why specifically Torkoal. I guess he's just trying to see if he can get it to wake up, but he switches it right back out, so I don't really know what that was about. We see a taunt come out. Very interesting from the Noivern. And that was a Choice Specs taunt, which was super interesting. We see the Flash Cannon, so we finally know about what kind of attacker this Silvally is. It's only shown T-Wave and Parting Shot up to this point. And now we have two bulky water types on the field in the Sun. Sun fades, but it's just a very interesting matchup to have going on right now. Things are kind of stagnating. Nobody really has full momentum. I think you read that Toxic there though, going into his Pokemon that fell asleep, and he just keeps spamming Toxic, hoping he can start whittling down something. But in the meantime, ColdWeatherr is just able to keep burning these sleep turns. Now we see Noivern come in. A bit of an interesting switch. I guess it's a fire resist, and it's going to be able to do more damage than Milotic will be able to. But we see it go for Hurricane. Hurricane only has 50% accuracy in the Sun, and we see him go for it again here. Torkoal's finally woken up and got up his rocks. Very important. Smart late game rocks to go for. Overheat doesn't quite pick up the KO. And he opts to switch out on just the Hurricane spam. Now that's going to be hitting a little more accurately. And miss again there. Brutal, but I mean, it is a low accuracy move. What can you do? And Noivern goes down. So now we've got 5-3. He opts to save the Silvally and go right into his Primarina, probably to absorb that Scald. And ColdWeatherr seems to be pulling away from it a little bit, but he does get Toxicked. Kind of a big deal. Now he goes for the Moonblast here, and he actually gets a special attack drop. If this thing was competitive instead of Marvel Scale, that could have been huge. But obviously it's not. What can you do? And he's just spamming Moonblast, and Zach is getting nowhere because of it. So he kind of has to have something change up here soon. Cold realizes this as well. He goes on the predicted recover into his Mienshao. He gets the fake out, gets some chip damage, takes some burn damage as well, the Milotic does. And he's going to try to go for a high jump kick here to take out the Milotic. But he just misses the KO, even with the burn damage. And this thing gets Toxicked, which I don't know if that was the best play. I think Scald would have been better because you do get that burn chance. You do more immediate damage. And this thing's just going to U-turn right out anyways and get some health back. But either way, Torkoal's back in, Sun's back up. Zach makes the correct play of going into Tyranitar to remove that Sun immediately. He sacks off Silvally here. I don't really know what the goal of that was. I guess he just didn't want to, like, it was the most expendable Pokemon to him. I don't agree with that fake out play right there. Because he's going to take Life Orb and Toxic and Sand damage here. I know he has that Regenerator, but it just doesn't make sense. He should have went right for the high jump kick like that. It makes much more sense to me. As now we're going to see the Venusaur come back in. It's Venusaur versus the world here. And, he lives the U-turn. Crazy. What's he going to go for? I believe he goes for a Sludge Bomb here. No, a Leech Seed. A Leech Seed. Getting some health back. Very important. It's only him alive. He outspeeds the Torkoal, puts him to sleep again. Very familiar situation. And he's just getting health back. So Cold can't let this Venusaur get healthy again since he lost, Crobat to handle it. So he comes back into Mienshao, does more immediate damage. With the toxic damage, lives on 1% from that Sludge Bomb. Insane. Gets the U-turn, dies to Life Orb. It's really coming down to the wire. Is Venusaur going to do it? But no, he goes right into Sawsbuck, goes for the double edge, knocks out Mega Venusaur with the Chlorophyll speed boost. The Sawsbuck was a menace. It was a crazy match. Crazy cool things happened. I wish I would have seen the Noivern do something cool with Switcheroo and Choice Specs. Would have been really cool to see him potentially put Choice Specs on the Crobat, or maybe even the Mienshao to stop either of them from U-turning. It could have been funny if you put it on, say, the Savali, because it ended up being more of a support Savali. I think it just came down to ColdWeatherr made more aggressive plays, and he was able to build momentum more with U-turn. Meanwhile, Zach had, had a good team prepared. It's just the bulk side of things kind of fell apart quickly. He lost Hitmontop relatively early. I guess he didn't expect rocks to be set up late game by Torkoal. I sure as hell didn't, but they got set up regardless. He lost Umbreon, and then that only left Milotic to really take hits, and it got whittled down. Venusaur couldn't really run the Synthesis this week because he wanted to bring Tyranitar with Sand, so he had to run Leech Seed. Pretty unreliable with how much switching ColdWeatherr did, so I think they both did really well in team preparation. It's just kind of ColdWeather's team just seemed to work a little bit better in the situation. So ColdWeatherr advances to 2-0, and that puts him in second place overall in the league, second place in his division as well, the Melee division. Zach falls to 1-1, and sixth place overall, fifth in the division. Not a terrible place to be at all. 6 out of 16 is still pretty good. And with that, we're going to move into week 3. Let me know what you guys thought of the battle in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for more battles of the week. It's going to be really cool. This has been me, Troy. I go by TangelaBoots on my channel. You can check that out as well. It's just been me this time, but we're going to get all sorts of people in to commentate these battles of the week. Last week we had Ian to commentate with me, so yeah, it's going to be cool. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.